Greetings. Hotep, namaste, love, peace. Just was wanting to make a quick video. I just got off this this 7-day water fast, man. And it really wasn't no joke, man. It really helped clear a lot of things out, help purge a lot of things. Some relationships that needed to be purged, and also it helped me clean out my system a lot, as well as relieve this athlete's foot too. I had this athlete's foot I've been having for way too long, and I was just like, man, I'm tired of my feet always itching every time I eat something sweet or eat some type of carb, or starch, really, because these all break down into sugar and feed it. So I was like, man, I'm tired of this thing. We ain't no freaking symbiotic relationship, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what my desire is. So I went on that fast, and day 6 I was really just hurting. Like day 5 I was hurting. Like, man, oh my goodness, I really wasn't drinking enough water either. So I was hurting. I was real close to just quitting, just giving up. But I hung in there. Day 6 and 7 I really started trying to juice some greens, and but definitely for 5 solid days I was going just on straight water, and that's the longest I ever had a fast. And it because I can do juicing anytime. I can do juicing, but I really just being a tourist, I really enjoy food. I love all my senses being stimulated. I'm very sensual, as an in tune tourist is, and I love food. I'm really starting to. I really thought about it a lot. Not in the sense of, well, probably in the sense of cravings as well, but I also just thought I enjoyed creating. I enjoy creating something, and anything, and I'm finding that I love creating food. I thought about that. Like, I just love combining different things, different spices, different herbs, making something that I never even heard before. I just got done making a meal, and I'm about to sit down here and watch this Hidden Colors. I was trying to hook my brother up, but I got a good meal here. At least I think it's good. I got some grapes, cinnamon, some tomatoes, cucumbers, with some parsley and stuff on there. I might chop up a little garlic, thinking about it now, just throwing that cucumber and that tomato. I got some avocado here, some kale lettuce, and some different types of spices on top here. And then right here we have some banana pancakes. Banana pancakes made from eggs, though, just eggs and banana. This is a real simple recipe I came across on a social media site, and leave my beautiful rainbow palette here, that I came across on a social media site, where you just mix some eggs. I like to use like half a banana and an egg, half a banana and an egg, and it makes a good mixture to where I can work it in my blender. It's not that thick, but it makes a good mixture where it works in my blender. If you have maybe a high grade blender, you could probably do maybe 1 banana to 1 egg, something like that, have a thicker pancake. But I love eggs, and that's just the way it is. So anyway, just coming off this fast. Been off for about three days now, and I just really been enjoying myself. Just been thankful. It's been definitely refreshing, regenerating on every level. Like, it's just it's been awesome. Got to reconnect with a friend. She hit me up while I was on my fast, and I thought that was pretty ironic. You know what I mean? And it was somebody that before I really started to go through this past post-employment time period, I'll call it. She was somebody I really got to break bread with right before I came back to North Carolina, and it was an awesome experience. Definitely something that helped mold me and progress me. And I'll speak more about her on another video. She's definitely worthy of her own this video, because she was definitely an enhancement, and somebody who really brought this butterfly / moth out of the cocoon, and allowed me to grow and challenged me to grow. And when a woman challenges you, it's something else. When a man challenges you, yeah, that's still a challenge. But when a woman does it, it does something to a man, a real man. Even though I'm androgynous, I still respond to females, because I love the feminine. I'm infatuated with the feminine, and she's an androgynous being too. As most of us are, in this time period. So I just wanted to really it was something specific I wanted to touch on, but I know I've wanted to touch on just coming out of this fast, and just how good and refreshing it feels, and how awesome it feels. I was thinking I was making my niece something to eat today, and she calls me Dad, and I've been privileged to be around a few young ones that like right in those beginning stages as they're born, and right when they're around 1 and 2 years old. I always seem to come across little ones at this stage, and eventually they get to a point where they call me Da, and or Dada, and it's like but I always thought about that, because I'm like, that's not Mama and Dada and Ma and Dad aren't words that we teach to these little ones. They just eventually this word begins to come inside of them, and they, from a feeling that they have over 4 individuals, they begin to say these words, and even if you don't respond to them, they just will say them around you, like, it was just, the Spirit was talking to me about that, and I thought that was an amazing dynamic, and I've been thinking about it before, but then after breaking bread with a brother who let me borrow the Hidden Colors 3 movie, it was the Spirit began speaking to me, and it was like the Da corresponds with, like, in the musical charts, you have like the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So do would typically be Da, and that corresponds with the lower chakra, the red chakra, the root chakra they call it, and that corresponds with survival and protection, and family, and being provided for, and so I found it ironic that Da, that masculine that Da is normally attributed, every time I've seen it attributed to a masculine entity, and the Da in relation to the feelings that this pure being is feeling will correspond with that root chakra, which will correspond with that Do on the musical scale. So I thought that to be awkward. So then I went up, and I would say, okay, so that means that the Ma, chances are high that the Ma will correspond with the heart chakra. And sure enough, if you say do, re, mi, fa, hits you, that's the heart. That's coming from the heart. So but that correlates to Ma, fa, Ma. And I just thought that to be an awkward, awesome dynamic that the universe presented. I don't think it's accidental that just happens to be the case. And I'm sure it can be expounded on even more than that. But just in my own little simple yet technical world, those are the downloads that came over me just today, just on the strength of when I was doing something. And so I just wanted to share that, because I thought that was pretty awesome. But something else I wanted to touch on. I have earlier videos where I might have been twisting up something, and I've definitely slowed down to a halt on that. Even though I love Mary, like I said, I was born in a house that had a 6-foot cannabis plant in the house, and my grandmother didn't smoke. She just liked the vibration from the plant, and because it is a high vibratory plant, you can and many people speak on this, not just smoking it, but just in its presence, and just in its curing capabilities. And Dr. Emoto, who the chairman of water, one of the chairmen of water, goes into a dynamic on that. If you go to his website, Emoto Masuri, Emoto Tech Masuri.net, he goes into that. But I really laid her down in the sense of, I just wanted to start creating more and more every day. Like, some people need Mary Jane marijuana to create and be creative and step into that feminine, and some people don't. You have to know yourself and figure yourself out, figure out the way to rock it that's best for you. And but I don't need it, but I enjoy it. I love being able to break bread with folks. But I really put her down, and I forgot where I was going specifically with that. Yeah, I think it's just, better, that just people need to figure themselves out. That's the most important thing. Like I If because you can't advance spiritually, you can't progress spiritually with Chiba, you know what I mean. But you have to know yourself, and you have to know what your goals are, what your aims are. In order sometimes for you to step out, step out of this bodily situation, and people don't really know, aren't able to meditate, or we don't have the formal school to teach people how to meditate, or whatever the case may be. Oftentimes those type of substances help people out to get to that level where you can step out of your body and really be able to analyze, But that's not something that I need, but it is something that I love, and is a pastime of mine, and something that I will be in my life, in and out of my life for a long time, because it's just another aspect of Mother Earth. But I really want to just be creative. I want my relationships to be much more productive, and not based on some type of substance. You know what I mean? That's one of the main things I feel that I'm taking it to this next level, this next stage in my world. Is I want my relationships to be productive in some way, shape, or form. Particularly, financially and emotionally, and not to be substance based. I want to be able to create things with people, you know what I mean. And oftentimes, and even myself, I found out that I'm not as technically sound as I would like to be when I'm jazzy, you know what I mean. And being an Arcturian seed, and many other seeds, androgynous, seed from the Andromeda, seeds from, different communities, the Syrian, Orion community, the reptilian, Draconian, all the, different aspects. But particularly Arcturian is the first, and Pleiadian, but particularly Pleiadian and Arcturian are my main basis. And being technical is something that I'm very, that's just me. I was an aviation ordnance technician in the Marine Corps. Just so happened, I didn't know nothing about my extraterrestrial aspects to this degree at the time. So I don't like not feeling that I can do whatever I need to do, you know what I mean, or not feeling that I can't wrap my mind around a situation, which I can wrap my mind around, but sometimes I'm not able to. I find I'm not able to interface with things as well as I would like to externally. Like, it's just often pure creation and emotion at that time period, I'm all the way in that world, and not really want to, like, put a bite together or put a table together when I'm jazzy, you know what I mean. Like, that doesn't coincide together. And sometimes during the day, you may have time periods where you're chilling, and then you may achieve, and then you want to do something after that if it's during the day, and then you can't really do it to your highest capability because you still have the jazziness inside of you. And that situation sucks. So in order to avoid that, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'll wait till if I'm going to do it, then I'll choose to do that in the evening. But throughout the day, I just want to be as progressive and as creative as possible, being able to interact with folks on the highest level as possible. And then later on in the evening, if that's the type of individual, and it's really only one or two individuals that until I get to that level that I want to be on, until I'm living comfortably how I deserve and desire to be, then I don't want to even really waste time, because to me that's just a waste of time, during the day, if I'm not where I would like to be at, if things aren't in autopilot mode how I want them to be. So but I wanted to touch on that the technical side about the tree, because you could definitely be spiritual, you could definitely progress with tree, but there needs to be a time, especially when you really start on your path of this self analyzation, basically, because that's all this is. There's nothing outside of us. We are everything. There needs to be a time where there is this pure you and introspection, without any substance to get you there. There needs to be that time, but then there could be times where there are substances that help too, and that's important for you and your higher self to figure out a way to communicate what that best way is for you. You know what I mean? Because people try to shun things, and this is something that came from the earth. You know what I mean? So I'm not just pure good, light, holiness. Even though all of that is me, and I love all of that, it's like you need both. The balance needs to be there. Both halves exist. Both halves are one. That is the reality. So everything is beneficial in one way, shape, or form. So people try to say, well, you can't do this or can't do that. Well, see, that person, once they step into that world, they're trying to take power away from you, and you can't allow anybody to take power away from you, because you are the answer. You hold the keys, especially to your world, which your world is everything. So you need to make sure that you take time to devote to understanding yourself, and stop asking other people for their opinions when it comes to what your how you progress. It's good to get points of views and opinions and comments, but don't let that hold more weight over what your answers may be whenever you decide to speak to your higher self about that situation. And you need to be sober minded when you're speaking to your higher self about that situation. That needs to be understood. You don't need to be under some influence, because you're not going to receive the clearest you're not going to receive the clearest signal at that in that mode. So I know I touched on a lot of things. I don't even know what to name this, but I just wanted to touch on a few things that came into my heart. Yeah. Just be light, be love, be peace, be joy. Stay progressive, be creative, stay abundant. Know that you are priceless, and know that abundance is all around you. One of the things that happened also was before I even, and that is the last thing I talk about before I get my grub on and just relax a little bit. It was when I was starting to before I really went on a fast. It was kind of okay. Well, my funds was getting real low. It wasn't too much food in the house, and I'm like, well, listen, I'm telling my sister who I stay with, who we stay together. She asked me if she wanted me to get. She asked me if I wanted her to get some food while she was out, and I was like, no, don't get me anything, because I knew subconsciously I wanted to go on this purge. It was time for this purge, especially because the new moon was happening. So I knew I just felt that it was time. So I told her no, but then it was like, man, I was really starting to get hungry. Like, I was just trying to throw things together to eat, and I was like, you know what, I'm not walking. I had enough change to go down to the food line and get some kale, and all I really need is just lettuce. So I can survive. I'm the golden child. I don't need nothing but a little piece of green hold me down. So I didn't walk to the food line. I was like, I'm gonna check out this free food and medicine video that I have, because it's a compilation of people going out and showing you different plants and stuff like that you can eat, that's out right in your yard, right out in your neighbor's yard, right on the side of the road. There's some purple wild thyme. You don't even know it's wild thyme. You just think it's all regular grass, but after you get more information, it's priceless information, then you can find anything you want to find. You can do anything you want to do. It's more about the wisdom and information than it is about the money. You can't even hold on to money if you don't know what to do with it. So the real currency is wisdom and information and relationships. That's real currency. That's currency at the highest level. So I started to study this free food and medicine deal, and I started to find out a lot of different things. Found a lot of different foods I had, a lot of different plants I had, leaves I had in my backyard. Like, I had grape leaves and I had some choke berries. I found out I had some choke berries, and it was just good to come across that information. And dandelions I already knew about. Dandelion roots I already knew about. So and I have a mint plant, even though she was hurting at the time. I've gotten her back on, probably. But it was just cool how that situation that was starting to transpire made me want to go into the information more and find some real good practical information that I can apply. And that's why I just hold that wisdom and that knowledge, and you just being aware is of the highest wealth, the highest status. If you can go anywhere in the world and be you, you know what I mean? So you don't have to worry necessarily about that, finances, all that stuff. All that's what's gonna work itself out. You just building your own internal wealth up, you know what I mean? Internal wealth is the highest wealth, I think that's probably what I call this, even though I went all the way around the world with different things. Internal wealth is the highest wealth. That wisdom and that compassion and that knowledge is most important. So anyway, I need to spit this mucus out real quick and get on and go get my grub on and just relax a little bit. I love y'all. Peace. And stay encouraged, and be bliss. Hotel.